Hi everyone and welcome to another video for Agricultural Engineering 213. So today we are going to finish up this last part on farmland drainage, and we're going to start off by looking at the physical drainage pipes. So the first kind of pipe we are going to look at is corrugated plastic or core drain. And I think the most important thing to know about core drain is that it's light and strong, and that you have 4 different sizes that you can get them in. So they're available in 65, 90, 110 and 160 millimeter diameters. And here's a picture of core drain. So what's interesting or just important to remember with core drain is that you've got these riffles on the outside as well as on the inside, and that makes it strong. Next, smooth sewage plastic pipe. It's the cheapest, but it needs structural support, so it's not as strong as your core drain. Your smooth sewage pipe, as you can see here, it is completely smooth both inside and outside, which makes it not as strong as the corrugated one, but it is very cheap. Next, UPVC sewage pipe, which is smooth on the inside, and it is more expensive, but it is very durable. So this is how it looks on the outside. You can see it's corrugated on the outside, but on the inside you can see that it is smooth, so not too much friction on the inside when the water moves through it, but it is strong because of the corrugation on the outside. And then fourthly, smooth irrigation plastic pipe. So this is UPVC irrigation pipe, very expensive and durable, and it has self-locking seals, like you can see there. And then the last one is your high density polyethylene pipe. This is also expensive and durable. It is a coiled pipe, and in rolls of 30 to 50 meter lengths, as you can see there. So that's just the different kind of pipes that you can get. Then your filter material. So why is filter material so important? Because it prevents soil particles from being washed into the pipe. So you can imagine that you have a lot of sand and silt around your drainage pipe as soon as you've installed it. And so having a lot of filter material then reduces the ability of the ability of the sand to wash into your drainage pipe. So reduce entrance resistance to flow and for structural support. So especially if you've got weaker material for your pipes, then your filter material can help to keep your pipes in place and make sure that they have physical support. The most important kind of filter material is crushed stone filters. Usually you'll have stones not bigger than 13 millimeter in size placed around your pipes, and just to show, so this is your pipe and you've got a lot of these stone filters around your pipes. There's a better picture to show, and because you've got all of these stones, then this decreases the rate at which the sand and the silt can flow downwards to the pipe, and so you don't have a lot of excess sand, etc., that ends up in your physical drain pipe, because that can cause blockages. Then you have access pits. So access pits are placed at usually turns in your drainage pipe, or a maximum every 200 meters, usually every 100 meters, and they are placed for you to be able to inspect your drainage pipe to trap silt that can end up in your drainage pipe, and for access for maintenance. So if you want to clean your drainage pipes, this is usually where you would get in, climb in, and you can clean your drainage pipe from these access pits. They're usually in size and diameter of 1 meter or 0.6 to 1.5 meter box. They are watertight, so that when it rains or there's a lot of water that's moving down the slope, the water doesn't fall into the access pipe. So that's why they are usually a distance of about 100 millimeters above the soil floor. Then this is just a practical guide to installing a drainage system, a practical guide to how you are digging the trench, how to lay the pipe in the trench, and then just some more general rules when it comes to drainage and installing drainage. So then be careful for collapsing trench walls. So this is while you are busy digging your trench. Make sure that these trench walls don't collapse, because that can cause sand to end up in your drainage pipes, and your pipes in clay must not be covered with plastic. So that is especially for when you have a very sand kind of soil. Sometimes you'll put plastic over your pipes so that the sand doesn't end up in the pipe itself. But when you have an impermeable layer, usually you don't have plastic pipes above your drain. And then maintenance. So this is a very important part of having a drainage system. It's important to do the right maintenance to make sure that your drainage pipes work correctly for a very long period of time, and that you don't have any issues with waterlogged soils. So blockages in the system may be concealed for a while, but harm can be done to your crop by the time a wet spot is detected. So when your drainage pipes are being blocked, then usually that will lead to your water in your soil not draining out through those pipes, and very wet, waterlogged conditions can occur around your pipe that is not working correctly or being blocked. So usually this can cause a lot of damage to your crop, because it will take a time for you to realize that there's a wet spot in your field. And that's why just looking at the flow at the outlet of your pipe doesn't usually give you a good indication of whether or not the system is blocked. Another thing you can do is look at the water table, because if your water table isn't staying low and it's continually being at a very high place, then that is also an indication that your drainage pipe is blocked. So sand and silt, they are usually found in your drainage pipe, and they can cause blockages, especially in the first year or two after you've installed the drainage pipe. Then just because of the installation process, as well as the pipes lying around your soil, what can happen is sand can just end up in your drainage pipes while you're busy installing the pipes. So usually in the beginning there will be a lot of sand in there, but later on, if you still have a lot of sand and silt that are coming out of your pipes, then there can be a bigger issue. So it's important to clean the access pits every year to make sure that you are aware of any extra silt that is coming out of your drainage pipe. Roots are a very big problem in areas where you have a wet season and a dry season, because the roots always grow towards a place where there's water. And so you can imagine, if you're in a dry season, then the roots will grow towards the drainage pipe, and especially the area around the drainage pipe, because there's water there, and you can have roots that end up in your drainage pipe and cause blockages. So especially if you are growing trees for wind, or to block off wind from your orchards, then those trees usually end up with their roots in the drainage system. So then either you need to cut off those roots or remove the drainage system. Another issue is iron oxide. So what happens with iron oxide is it binds with the iron binds with oxygen, and it oxidizes, and it forms this slimy yellowish red deposit. And this deposit is usually very hard, and so it starts blocking your pipes. So that's especially when you're using full fertilizer in your drainage or in your field, and that ends up in the drainage system. So you should either scrape it out, or you can use sulfur dioxide to chemically bind with your red yellowish deposit, and that will clean your drainage system. And then how do you clean your pipes? There are three main reasons, or ways to do that: flush it with water, so that's a jet of water that's really strong, it's under a lot of pressure, and that can remove silt and dirt. Then sewer rods. So sewer rods can clean up to 100 meters of pipe, and that's why it's important to have access pits at every corner in your drainage pipe, because you can only clean in a straight line or straight drainage pipe. So whenever you have corners or bends, you cannot reach another area after that if you've got a sewer rod. So it's always important to make sure that you have enough access pits to get down into your drain and clean out your drainage pipes. And then lastly, high pressure equipment. They are more expensive than sewer rods, but you go through cleaning your drains a lot quicker, and you need a lot less labor to clean with high pressure equipment.